now. The winner, $12,000. The runner-up, $7,000.
Michael Jordan would have reversed. Now, he was down 4 points going into that dunk.
At one point in time, the NBA dunk contest was the premier event of All-Star Weekend, even ranking above the actual All-Star game itself. The dunk contest will see the highest NBA flyers amaze the live crowds and bring people out of their seats. For around 20 years, the NBA's annual dunk-off was must-see TV, but it eventually became a victim of its own success. After seeing so many jaw-dropping creative slams from elite NBA All-Stars, the event will go on to lose its pizzazz due to lesser-known players participating and producing lesser creative dunks than their predecessors. But along the way, there will be some great performances that were overshadowed and forgotten by history. And in this video, we're here to remind you of some of those. So without further ado, milkcraterims presents
Worst.
Risky dunk if he needed it.
Oh, yes he is. But I'll tell you, he's unbelievable. Okay, you put Jordan on your back. You had to do something special. He says, I want a 50.
Number 5, JaVale McGee in 2011. The 2011 dunk contest is most remembered for Blake Griffin winning his first and only slam dunk championship. A rookie Blake Griffin was absolutely on fire when it came to dunks, as he had been posterizing the entire league during games, and quickly placing himself amongst the best in-game dunkers of all time. JaVale McGee, on the other hand, was best known for his constant Shaqtin' the Fool appearances. Going into that contest, Griffin had all eyes on him in participation of his aerial acrobatics. But the freakishly athletic McGee wouldn't lose without a few awesome dunks of his own. Being 7 feet has always placed big men at a disadvantage in these events. But JaVale would bring a certain creativity and flair, usually not seen from centers in the dunk contest. Griffin would go on to defeat McGee with a hugely overrated jump over the kid dunk that was really just him jumping over the hood of a car. But on the flip side, some could argue that McGee's second place finish actually had more creativity to it than Griffin's. Griffin's popularity then almost guaranteed him the victory before the contest even started. But JaVale McGee definitely held his own that night.
This is awesome.
This was his dark horse.
The light horse. No, the dark horse.
No, the magenta horse.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, this is my pick. That's your pick.
Look, it took him a while, but this is impressive.
That was good. That's
This
a 10.
is impressive.
That's a 10. That's why I picked him.
Dwight, I hate to say this, Dwight. I don't know if there's anyone else on the planet that can do this.
Well,
I'm sorry, Dwight. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know if there's anyone else on the planet that can do this.
That's impressive. You know what I mean?
Everybody else doing 1 ball. I did 2 ball.
Whoa.
So why not 3 balls?
Are you kidding me?
3 balls?
Man.
There it is. Man. He's doing some impressive stuff.
You know, every dunk has been impressive. Every dunk tonight has been terrific.
The creativity tonight.
Look at the 10s come up from the judges.
Oh, come on. He got a 9. That's good.
I might have called a technicality there, y'all.
Because he held on to the rim.
Yeah, I might have a technicality.
He is holding on to the rim.
He is holding on to the rim.
Not really.
He just got a 49.
Oh, man, that's impressive. Yo.
That's impressive.
That's nice.
And I think Dwight hit something on the head. People tend to discriminate against taller guys.
That's a hard dunk to do.
That's a very hard dunk.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. And
that's a 10
and
right
he's
there.
dunking it going away.
That's a 10.
Look at his body. His body's going away, and he's throwing it back down.
Yeah, he represents for the big fellas.
That's a terrific dunk.
Just because Dwight here.
Ooh, his head was above the rim there.
Those 2 guys are the best 7-foot dunkers. Dwight is the best 7-foot dunker I've ever seen. And this kid McGee got some hops also.
He got some bounce.
Watch the head, the extension.
Look at his arm. He could have put his whole arm in the rim.
So he should have done a Blake, huh? Copied him?
No, his whole arm, not just the elbow.
Look at that.
We're going to have to listen to Kenny another year now.
Oh, man, what Kenny got this time?
Number 4, Terrence Stansbury in 1985. The 1985 dunk contest was stacked, as it featured some of the most well-known dunkers of that decade, including the 1984 winner Larry Nance, the legendary Julius Dr. J. Irvin, the human highlight film Dominique Wilkins, and the flashy, high-flying rookie named Michael Jordan. MJ's rebellious drip will be on full display, by the way, as his airness will compete in the first round completely out of uniform and wearing all Nike apparel, sweatpants, shirt, and the now infamous Nike Air Jordan 1s. Being the first and only player to pull such a thing, the NBA will force MJ to change into his NBA Chicago Bulls uniform for round 2. With 3 of the top 5 all-time dunk contest greats and other well-known dunkers like Clyde the Glide Drexler participating, Terrence Stansbury was an afterthought going into this contest. Nah, scratch that. He was less than an afterthought. He wasn't a thought at all. But with the dunk contest taking place in Indiana in front of his team's crowd, Stansbury would surprise and impress the nation. Not only did Terrence Stansbury go toe-to-toe with the dunk gods, he would outshine most of them this night, advancing to the semifinals. In fact, it was announced in the arena that night that Stansbury had eliminated Jordan from making the semifinals before a last-second impromptu decision was made for both Stansbury and Jordan to advance to the next round. He would go on to finish third in 85 behind Neek and MJ, but the unknown underdog will accumulate a higher score than Clyde the Glide, Dr. Funkenstein Darrell Griffin, former champ Larry Nance, and the living legend Dr. J.
So Griffith looks up at his score. And now the local favorite, Terrence Stansbury, a rookie from Temple, 360. How about that one?
Stansbury filling in for Charles Barkley, who couldn't make it due to personal reasons. Stansbury was very nervous before this event.
Boy, look at the fans. They absolutely love this young man. 6'5", we look again. Watch the first 360, squares away and jams it home.
One-handed. Rod, I'm going to give him a 10 on that. That was super.
And the fans love him, as you can see him taking a high five. One more time.
You know what makes this move spectacular? He leaves the ground on 1 foot, not off 2 feet like most people do. 1 vertical instead of that. He didn't show us that great takeoff that he has.
Here's Terrence Stansbury. Watch this. Bounce it, catch it, and slam it.
Boy, this guy's doing some job. He was nervous, as I mentioned, before the competition began, but he doesn't look it. He looks like he's right into it.
I'll tell you again, too, there was 17,000 plus here, a sellout market arena here in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Now, this is creative. Now, I'm calling this one an 8, Rod. You know why? Because he hits the rim on the way down, and the perfect slam, with the perfect slam, you don't have that rim contact.
So he gets a 34, and he certainly doesn't like that.
That score was incorrect. He was scheduled to receive a total of 40 points. Thus, we have a tie for the right to advance between Chicago's Michael Jordan and the Pacers' Terrence Stansbury.
He's looking down court, and there's a reason. Look at these kids down here. They're his coaches. They're going to tell him what to do.
His consultants.
Come on, give him the backhand.
They want to see a reverse.
A second dunk off.
Terrence Stansbury, fine rookie out of Temple. Here he comes, 6'5".
Oh, man, he got the reverse. Right, as a judge, I got to call that one a 10.
Well, you can give him a 10, but I don't think all the judges did. And again, it looks like we got a malfunction on the computer. As you look again at this dunk, I thought in my mind that Jordan's dunk was a little better.
Well, I'll tell you, they were both very close, Rod, and I think the scoring indicated was not correct. The judges are going to confer on this now. It looks like Stansbury is the winner. Jordan graciously accepts defeat. But the judges are going to talk this one over, and it's going to be decided now that Jordan and Stansbury are going to go into the semifinal round. So we'll have 5 competitors in the semifinals.
That was the only thing and the right thing. Now back to Terrence Stansbury of the Indiana Pacers once again. Here comes the rookie, everybody's favorite. That's a nice one. He put that ball out in front of him, John, let it go, and then caught it. Brought it back down, back up, and slammed it with both hands. And they love it here in Indiana.
And he hung in the air.
Watch this in slow motion. He flips it up. What I like about this, he brought it down, back up, and now slam.
What legs Stansbury has. I'd say it was affected.
I do too. I think you're right. It's pretty good, but there you go. There you go. You can see by his pants club. They're not.
Number 3, Kenny Smith in 1990. Although over half of today's NBA audience knows Kenny from being part of everybody's favorite show Inside the NBA with Ernie, Chuck, and Shaq, and another 35% knowing him from his playing days as a Houston Rocket, winning 2 titles alongside Akeem Olajuwon. There's not many fans today that would ever describe Kenny Smith as a high flyer. But Sacramento King Kenny Smith says, know your history. Before the back-to-back titles, before the Game 7 victory versus the New York Knicks, and before helping Houston sweep Shaq, Penny, and Orlando in '95, Kenny the Jet Smith was worthy of his nickname. The 1990 dunk contest featured the 1985 winner Dominique Wilkins, the 1989 winner Kenny Skywalker, rising star Scottie Pippen, and the ridiculous dunker Sean Kemp, along with Anglo-American sweetheart Rex Chapman. The odds were definitely not in Kenny Smith's favor. Standing at just 6 feet 3 inches, Kenny would come off with a mix of surprisingly creative and athletic dunks in 1990, advancing all the way to the finals. Versus Dominique Wilkins. Smith will place second in 1990 with his combined score of 145.1 in the final round, being barely edged out by Dominique's combined score of 146.8. The mature, cool, calm, and collected Kenny Smith for today doesn't talk much about that night, but the younger, still hair-having, fresh box fade Kenny Smith was on next in the 1990 dunk contest.
Points are included to avoid the obvious tie, and Kenny Smith will be next.
Well, Kenny Smith probably one of the people the fans would like. Of course, the Heat like Thompson, but Kenny one of the shortest competitors here, along with Chapman at 6'3", but an outstanding leaper.
He's a 1-foot takeoff guy, Rick, so you're going to see him. He's going to do it like a high jumper, probably going to try to cradle one and maybe throw it in over his right shoulder.
Yeah, usually the shorter guys are the one-legged guys.
Yep.
Oh, that was strong, grabbing the rim with one hand, reversing with the other. But is it strong enough to move ahead of Wilkins or Thompson as the judges write their scores down? You know what, Magic Johnson, personally disappointed in the score. I think Thompson only got a 43-7 on that dunk we saw for a total of 91.4, which places him in 4th place right now. This is Kenny Smith.
Is this one the two-hand between the legs? I mean, two-hand bounce between the legs and then get it off the backboard and dunk it? I've seen him do this. Look at this. This is spectacular. You bounce it between your legs, Rick, off the backboard, you turn and you dunk the ball. This is unbelievable.
Good horse shot. I do this in my backyard, son. Never lost a game.
Now that's, I mean, can you get as many of these as you want?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Good question. This one looks like a good one. Yes!
Now, see, that's good. That's big time right there.
That's creative. See, a lot of creativity, as David Robinson liked it. But
Walker and Dominique, they get warmed up as they go along because they've been here before. They know that they're going to hold off because as it gets down to the end, this crowd will start getting excited on who makes the best dunk.
Kenny Smith has the highest score so far today, a 49-6 in the first round. Oh, that one's strong.
I tell you, this young guy right here is doing it. That was sweet.
I tell you, that ball was behind him. He had to go back and get it and then bring it to the hole. And remember, the other guys are big men. This man is only 6'3" tall. Now watch how he's going to go. See, the ball's behind him. He's got to go back, get it. Now come turn around and throw it in. And I think it may have forced him to make a more creative dunk. Here he goes. Behind.
I like his finish here. Watch him as he comes down. He pirouettes, and after he comes down, he bounces up, throws his arms in the air like he's a gymnast. What's my score?
All right, let's get a view now from Michael Jordan. It's a 49-1 for Kenny Smith.
3 on this one to tie for second.
At which there would be a dunk-off then for the advancement. So a 48-4 would move him into the final round.
I'd say Kenny Smith has done a lot better than I thought he would. I did not think he would be here at this phase of the competition.
A mere 6'3". pretty strong on the bounce in a two-handed reverse jam. But will the style get him enough from the judges?
I got a feeling he might not make it. It's a heck of a dunk. There's the nice bounce. He clutches it and brings it down. Two hands over the head. Very creative.
He's going to miss it by about 0.2, Rick. This is going to be about a 48.1.
They've been given a lot of high scores here in this round, so who knows? 49.
Whoa, 49.
That means he got into the finals.
98.3, and that means the championship round will be Dominique Wilkins and Kenny Smith. Some clash shown there, but Kenny Walker obviously disappointed. He's the defending champion, didn't make it to the finals, but he gave great credit to Kenny Smith from Sacramento at 6'3". There are 3 dunks in the final round with 1 replacement dunk, and Kenny Smith will go first as Dominique won the flip and elected to go second. Kenny Smith into the row of photographers.
Of course, not a lot of power. Stepped way inside. Again, at 6'3", you can't expect too much from him. But I tell you, his creativity is what's got him into the finals. Just a nice little run off the 1 foot, about 1.5 to 2 feet inside. Very nice, but nothing spectacular about it. Kicked the legs up, which was good, but then hard to get the power when you're that size and jumping from that far out.
And certainly, you know, I think with this final round right here, you know, Kenny Smith seems to be pulling a Spud Webb. Catching everybody by surprise, because he certainly wasn't one of the favorites.
All right, well, you talked about him. Keep talking about Kenny Smith right now.
Well, what he's doing right now is just showing creativity, and he's done a lot of timing dunks, and he's been nailing them. And I think he's probably even surprising Dominique. Look at Dominique, man. He's like, well, what is that? I remember when Spud did that to him. He's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. I'm the Neek, right?
Well, you know, everyone has had their favorites in this contest, and it looks like Kenny Smith has pushed ahead. We'll see what the judges do for him, Doc. All right, let's go back to Bob and Rick and Doug Collins.
Okay, thank you, Steve Jones. First of all, Dominique got a 47.9 on his dunk prior to this one, and now on 49.8 for Kenny Smith.
We're down to the wire. Let's go back to Bob Neal.
Thank you, Kenny Smith, now for his third dunk. A lob again. He grabbed the rim and followed through. I'll bet he wishes he hadn't done that because he could have pulled it back down. Now he does have a replacement dunk remaining, so he may choose to do that as a replacement dunk. It looks like his right hand is sore.
Now, does he know that he can get a replacement dunk even though he made that? So I don't know whether he knows that he can replace that even with the make. I think he's questioning right now, can I do it over even though I made it?
I'll tell you what, that's still a pretty creative dunk right there. The guy had no chance to make it and caught the rim and wound up whipping back. He caught his wrist because he came around from behind the swing.
Getting a ruling from the NBA on this is Kenny Smith. Looks like his wrist is hurting right now. Still no word on it. They say he cannot replace it. The dunk has to miss for you to be able to replace it, so that will count. And he got a 47.2 on it for a total of 145.1.
Number 2, Gerald Green in 2007. Now I know what you're thinking. How can a performance that won a dunk contest be underrated? Let me expound a bit. Gerald Green may be the most overlooked, underappreciated slam dunk champion in NBA history. The dunk contest was at the beginning stages of losing its luster in the mid to late 2000s, with the ever-lovable Nate Robinson breathing a bit of life into the event by becoming the shortest player to win since Spud Webb when he won in 2006. Gerald Green was a relatively unknown player in 2007 as a second-year guard for the Celtics, averaging 10.4 points per game coming off of Boston's bench. Not only was he up against fan favorite and defending champion Nate Robinson, Dwight Howard, who was immensely popular then, was also in the contest. Green would go out and put on a winning display of dunks that, in my opinion, is a top 10 slam dunk performance, ranking just below Vince in 2000, MJ's 87 and 88 outings, 1985's Dominique, Dr. J in the 1976 ABA dunk contest, 1986 Spud Webb, Zach LaVine in 2015, the absolutely insane Zach LaVine-Aaron Gordon battle in 2016, and Isaiah Ryder in 1994. And when you add in the fact that Gerald Green was doing all this with just 9 fingers, There should be more appreciation for his championship-winning performance.
I know. the Celtics have Danny Ainge and turned the Celtics into the Clippers.
This is why I want him to do well, because these guys have been really hurt with Paul Pierce. They can do something big right now, but he has to come out first. Really impressive. He got it. Oh, I'm telling you, this is the new one. This is the new one. Yes, sir.
That's the guy who picked the winner.
That was nice. That was nice.
The one thing I told him, Kevin, I said, you got to come out and get the crowd behind you on your first dunk. And after that, it's easy to sell him.
He has a 48. Michael Jordan gave him a 9. Dr. J gave him a 9. Everybody else gave him a 10. That was nice.
Doc only gave him a 9?
And Michael only gave him a 9.
Oh, well, you know.
Two of the greatest dunkers of all time.
It's hard to, that's a 10, man. Are you kidding me?
They've seen it all.
They've seen it all, but that was just originality. It was timing. That's a 10.
Just because you've seen it all, you got to get out of 10 right there.
That's a 10. Because everything you've seen equal is, no, Vince Carter had a couple that was better than that. Yeah.
I love watching this kid play. He's the best young big man in the game.
Oh, he's going to dunk over.
The paper was still on the shoe. That's how I knew it was. Now, Paul Pierce is his assistant, and he is holding a cutout cardboard of our defending champion, Nate Robinson.
Yeah, this is funny. You got to sell your dunks.
That's right. It's getting back to being creative again, right, Kevin. And it's beautiful to see this. Because the fans is loving it.
Guys, how about playing with the lead as opposed to playing from behind? Now, they know what the scores are. How about that mentality?
Well, now you know that you have to come with some of your best dunks.
And I'm not really sure, because the dunks you have practiced, you can't say, well, let me try some more degree of difficulty. You practice your dunk and hope you get the great
They want to use the real thing. The cardboard is gone.
I like that. Yeah. You know what? Nate, to be a good showman, you come out there and you participate in this. It makes the whole dunk contest better. I like
the crowd on their feet.
Yes,
look at this. He doesn't want to see what's coming at him.
This is great. I thought last year came back strong the whole weekend, and this is even.
Oh, he's doing the deep brown.
He's pumping up the shoe now.
Oh, he's going old school.
Old school.
Deep brown.
Look at this.
He's going deep brown. Old school. He had the cut up jersey. Old school, deep brown.
There's some thoughtfulness in this.
Yes, sir.
That was terrific.
Yeah, you know what? He's the champ right now. You can see it happening. There is a dunk contest champion being born right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, they got a couple 10s and 3 9s. That's 47.
Oh, ooh, wow.
Oh,
my goodness.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's
Isn't it great, Charles, to be young?
Yes, it is.
That's great. Oh, my goodness.
I tried to tell Kenny, he told me these guys need to warm up.
My goodness.
Hey, when you're 20, you don't warm up, Kenny.
Look at Nate right here. He's looking at, man. I tell you what.
That's beautiful.
That dunk is grandmama's Kool-Aid. That's sweet.
NBA, it's a shame they're not better.
That wasn't that pressure. He got high, but that was almost about the same as Nate Robinson's. It was
the judges are over there talking among themselves. Is that legal?
Yeah.
They're over there discussing that he won it. Green won that particular matchup right there with 41.
See, that's what I'm saying. He didn't separate himself with that dunk.
Right.
He had a chance to really just win it and separate himself.
Well, now Nate has to come with the greatest dunk that he has in his arsenal.
Yeah.
He's got to do it right now. Whatever that is, he's got to turn this crowd. It's been a great, great all-star Saturday night. Jason Capono, Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley, and now let's see who's going to take the slam dunk. And also, Charles' excitement is back. Everybody wants to be a part of it again.
I think he just put the dagger in it right right there.
That's it right there.
I wanted to see something different.
Oh, look at Michael finally gave him a 10.
He gave him a 10. He gave him a 10.
All 10s. That's a perfect.
He's saying it's over. You can see it coming from dunk one that he was ready. He thought about this contest. He didn't just come out here and said, I'm just going to jump as high as I can. He had a plan in All-Star Vegas. He is now hit the slot machine, Chuck.
He is out of Gulf Shores Academy in Texas. He went right from high school to the NBA. He was going to play at Oklahoma State.
Wow.
He should have went to college, too.
Yeah.
Got a lot of talent. He hasn't harnessed it yet. That's why these guys should go to college and learn how to play. Very talented, but as a basketball player.
Also, Charles, something good finally for the Boston Celtics this
Yes.
Oh, they
season.
need it.
Yeah, they needed this.
And number 1, Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis in 2000. Yes, I do have a tie at number 1. Get over it. The dunks by T-Mac and Franchise in the 2000 dunk contest were equally awesome and way too close to pick one or the other. Unfortunately for these two, Vince Carter will put on the greatest show in dunk contest history the same night, completely overshadowing both McGrady and Francis. But I believe that if you were to insert these exact dunks performed by either one in 2000 into any dunk contest between 2001 through 2006, T-Mac and Franchise will finish first and second in whichever of those contests you want to pick, easily. Neither player lacked in creativity, originality, or just plain old hops, and both put on a show in their own right that unforgettable night in Oakland. But sometimes, when it's your night, it's your night. And T-Mac's big cousin, half man, half amazing, was simply just on one in 2000. Nobody in dunking history could have stopped that. With that being said, Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis drummed up the kind of dunks that could only be bested by the greatest all-time dunk performance ever.
He almost didn't get the ball up high enough. He was waiting for that thing to bounce and come up a little bit higher. He had to reach down, grab it, then curl it back over the top.
It was a much better dunk than it was pass. Like you say, Mike, he can't pass, but he can sure dunk.
Finds the handle, gets it up over the rim, and finishes.
Kenny, what's going on in your thinking process?
I really like that. I like the elevation. I like the creativity. However, he didn't get up the ball up high enough on the dunk, so he was kind of low once he caught the ball, which makes the dunk a little bit easier, guys, over there. Like, Danny would know that. Danny would definitely know that.
Hey, Kenny, I think that's crazy. I think that dunk that low, that's a lot harder if you got to bring it down from your knees.
Incidentally, we are unveiling a jump meter tonight, a new technology that instantly measures the height that each player reaches when dunking. Oh, Steve Francis answering Tracy McGrady. Wow.
I can't tell you for sure what's going on in his head, but I'm not sure that when he got up there, he just couldn't decide whether he wanted two hands or one hand to finish it.
Well, it didn't matter. The guy was up so high. What's the dunk meter on that ball? That had to be 11 feet. Look at this guy right here. He doesn't even catch the ball clean. He doesn't have very big hands. The ball rolls down his wrist, and he still dunks it.
I want to hear how Kenny judges this pass now.
And you see the difference between catching it higher and catching it lower. He was up. He had to go get it. But it was very similar, as you were indicating in my scoring, it was very similar. Tracy McGrady had a great dunk, but this was just as special.
Look at it. He dunks it with his wrist. He doesn't even have the ball in his hand.
Top 10 dunks. Between the legs, off the glass, catching it, that's difficult.
Kenny, there's no need to sell this. We were all very impressed.
Okay.
But what they don't know, Marv, is the inside story. Mike, Vinny Del Negro taught him that dunk in Sacramento. I was there. I witnessed it.
Brian Shaw, I have to give pride. He was the first one to kind of show me it, and I put a little twist to it. But Brian Shaw, but Vinny could do it as well, but not as high.
Now this is teamwork, as Vince Carter will work with Tracy McGrady.
And I asked Vince, I said, what happens if Tracy throws you a bad pass, and what's going to happen? He said, you know what, Kenny? The best passes are bad passes on alley-oops.
All right, here's McGrady. Once again, able to windmill it home. Tracy McGrady with a couple of impressive dunks.
Kind of a low pass again, though, Kenny. Didn't get that ball up high enough. We haven't really seen what Tracy McGrady's capable of doing, as spectacular as that was.
Yeah, Vince Carter, not a passer. Where's Muggsy Bogues for this pass? But that's still impressive.
All right.
Maybe we should have just given Vince an 11 or a 12 on the first dunk.
Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets, who opened up with a 45 on his first stuff.
I predict a 50 right here. I'm going out on a limb. I predict a 50, Kenny.
I like it so far.
Francis. Oh! It appeared that the bounce was behind his head, but able to save it and put it home.
He almost overruns the basketball. The ball winds up further behind him than he anticipated. Here he gets going. The ball stays behind. Let me reach back, grab it, and finish.
Whoa.
What do you have for us over there, Ken?
Oh, I got to give him the 10 on that one, ladies and gentlemen, because, like you said, the ball is so far behind him that he actually hits his ankle with the basketball. Watch it hit his ankle. He's going to come back. The jump meter's not 38. It must be wrong, because that has to be over 38.
All right, let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, George, you scored low at the beginning, but you've come up now with a 10 for Vince, a 10 now, and this last one for Stevie Francis. What's impressed you?
Well, you know, what impressed me about Stevie Francis is his size and then his creativity for a guy his size. You know, that's pretty difficult to do.
For Kevin Garnett, extremely impressed with what they have seen. Tracy McGrady checking out the angles.
Oh. I wonder if Tracy even knows right now. He's got anybody telling him he could just kind of chill until the finals.
He'll be coasting right now into the next round.
Does not have to do anything extraordinary, but he does.
Oh!
Tracy McGrady with the hat trick. 3 sensational dunks.
Oh, man.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Basically, the winner of the competition has the best poster dunk this evening because that one's going to be up on somebody's wall, just like Neek is, just like Michael Jordan, just like Spud Webb. The winners, they make a poster of their best dunk, and everybody's out there buying it and hanging it in their room.
10 is not enough. Like, this is, Danny, this 10 is not enough.
A very impressive line for Tracy McGrady, perhaps a message for the competition as he heads to the final.
Stackhouse and Hill really never got it done, right?
Right, so it might look impressive to do it just to get it out of the way.
He's going to do it. No, he didn't bend down. I thought he bent down.
Good idea, but not able to cash in.
Didn't matter. He's in the finals anyway.
And the crowd responds to the combination of Steve Francis and Cuttino Mobley of the Houston Rockets. So he will keep his first 2 scores. He can drop 1 of the 3. And Steve Francis will end up with a 95 for the first round.
That's nice of you, Kenny.
Is that a soft 10, Kenny?
No question.
So headed to the final, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Steve Francis. More excitement to come on the slam dunk competition.
Jump off the trampoline looking for ideas on what he was going to do in the finals.
Vince Carter looking to psych out Steve Francis. And here's Francis with his first.
Not good enough. Pretty good dunk, but that wasn't as good as the one he bounced and did that same action off of.
And you have to believe that Vince Carter has the advantage of the crowd going wild with every one of his opportunities.
Reminiscent of Michael Jordan doing something similar years ago. Dominique using that same one from the side, where they come from the left side, bring it back, scoop it down and up, and then finish with the dunk.
I don't know about you guys, but this is exciting right here. Watching Tracy Vince and Steve Francis. This is awesome.
All right, McGrady with another gorgeous windmill stuff.
Let's see your cards.
Kenny, don't be looking over at Isaiah's sheet.
Hey, I'm doing just like I used to do in calculus. I'm looking at the next man's paper.
This is the final round. Vince Carter opened with a 50. Tracy McGrady with a 45. Steve Francis with a 43.
You got big numbers with that one. Big numbers.
That's awesome. So the crowd responding to Steve Francis. Let's see how the judges respond.
Well, I had to give him a 10 ball. You know, it wasn't a sympathy 10 either. This guy really went up and got this. He could have said, I'm just going to leave the competition, but he goes up, cocks it between the legs, and throws it down.
That's unbelievable, guy. Yeah, I mean, he's 6'2", but he doesn't have short arms or big hands. I mean, that is awesome what he just did right there. This guy would win it a lot of years.
Got any underrated dunk contest performances you feel I left out? As always, let me know in the comments. We out.